focus on tomorrow. Just focus on like what you are going to be planning for tomorrow. Downtime is good. You have to allow yourself to have downtime and schedule it and not feel bad about it. And this is where eliminating things out of your life that isn't helping you achieve the greater goal. And I'm not eating healthy, and then I'm feeling more tired, and then I don't feel well. It's just like perpetual cycle. It all goes together. What's up, Scoop Podcast? I'm your host, Erica Kruppen, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about building momentum after burnout, after setback, after you haven't been doing the things that you have typically been doing. And I know this applies to so many different avenues of our lives. Eating right, faith, working out, taking care of your extra responsibilities. With me, it was getting back into working out, getting back into recording, actually being back in front of the camera after taking like a month and a half off. And I'm recording with my podcast equipment again, with the request of Mr. Producer, because the microphone that I was using before isn't the best quality, and I've invested in all of this wonderful equipment, but I had just gotten so burnt out and so tired. I was just trying to be lazy and do things the easiest way possible. And there's times where we have to do that. We go through different seasons, and online a lot of times we see things about hustle culture. You gotta grind, you gotta do all this stuff, you gotta be on 24/7, 24/32, find more hours in the day than what actually exists and more days within the week than actually exists. And it's just not sustainable. If you're listening to this and you're burnt out, feel less than because you feel like you're not doing enough, because you're comparing yourself to other people, listen to this episode. Let's talk it out. Let's talk about realistic expectations, because I can offer some advice. I don't know everything, but being around other high achievers and seeing how they move and how they groove. And I'm very grateful for my relationship with Trisha and Lacey. They're both high achievers in their business. They both run 7-figure businesses. And even William as well, with the Poop Scoop Millionaire, the owner of Swoop Scoop. They talk about taking time, right? Even though William's very, very busy, he does a lot of stuff. He still spends time with his kids. He still spends time with his family. He still takes care of himself and works out. Same thing with Trisha. She runs multiple businesses and is super high achieving. She knows how to delegate. She knows when her body needs to rest, mainly because her body has told her you have to rest. And so as time has gone on, she's learned to listen to that stuff before it becomes an absolute nightmare. And Lacey and I, if you guys don't know who Lacey is one of my customers that I had been servicing since the beginning days. I was scooping her yard, and unbeknownst to me, she was building a 7-figure cleaning business. And she built that community over in school, and her and I were like talking on social. We were friends, and she joined the community, and we've been having some wonderful conversations, and she's been just dropping so much valuable information in the community. And I'm just like, holy smokes, I had no idea you were doing this. And a lot of people move in silence. I moved loud because that's just my personality type. But now, after having this time of downtime to be able to connect with people and be able to have conversations, now it's time to get back to it. Now it's time to get back to work. It's time to get back to the content. And when I was sitting down thinking about how I wanted to approach this, because I didn't want to go to the point again where burnout was happening and I just abruptly stopped. I would like to have a better plan moving forward and plan personal time, plan downtime, and know like in the month of July, I'm probably going to be really tired. So let's be prepared with episodes that are either recorded or the encore episodes. Let's be more calculated type deal. So I didn't just say, okay, I'm starting back up. I gave myself about a week leadway, communicated with the team. And I'm like, all right, what's realistic? What are we going to do? What were the pain points? Where were the issues? And it's continuously disorganization. I'm super organized in my business because of Jobber, this CRM I used to run, grow, and manage my small pooper scooper business. It's very organized. It's very streamlined and clockwork. But my personal life and me, it's just very much so different because I have the opportunity just to mess things up and move things based upon my feelings. And it's not sustainable, and it's not good when you have a team of people that are working around you. So that's the reason why I lost momentum. It was just I was doing too much. And I've already talked about this on prior episodes. For you, you got to figure out what your burnout is, and everybody has their own reasons of why they get burnt out and what happened. But recognizing that the burnout is happening, and it's going to happen because we're not machines, we're humans, and we want to have different seasons for different times. Like my husband, for instance, you guys know that we started a tree service last year, and he's been grinding. It's been a year. He's been grinding all day, every day, and he's just burnt out. Like he's done. He don't want to do it anymore. And so we just had a really difficult conversation of what we're going to do with the equipment. Where is it going to go? What are we going to do? And so today he actually sold his first piece of equipment off, and he's excited. He's on his way to go get his hair cut right now. My husband has long, beautiful hair when he washes it. When it's freshly washed and conditioned, it's fluffy and it's curly and it's adorable, but he doesn't manage it the best. And he looks wild on several occasions. At our high school reunion, I don't know what happened. His hair did not look the best. And in the pictures, it didn't look good. And I don't know if maybe that was the one that threw him over. If that was the one who was like, nope, we're done. We're done here. We're not going to have this happen again. Maybe not. But that was the one where I was like, oh, that hair's got to go, dude. So he's going to cut his hair. And he was like, it's new beginnings. It's like a fresh start. He's ready to have more time back in his schedule. He's ready to work his regular job and come home and have some freedom, some time to go on walks and not be so exhausted all the time. Because it's no way to live life. And especially as we're getting older, I'll be 38 tomorrow. Not that we're super old, but like I'm not 20. We're not 18. Life has been lifing. We kind of just want to slow down a little bit. And I get it. I get when people want to enjoy life a little bit more because you appreciate the people around you and the time and the things that you've been able to build. You just want to hang. But at a certain point, right? Depending on where you're at, like with me, I'm not going to quit creating content. I needed to get back into creating content. And if I were to just jump back into what I was doing before, 2 podcasts a week with a Q&A, posting on social media like 3 times a day regularly, and then creating a separate YouTube video on top of the sponsored content that I create for the different sponsors that I have. Nope. Wouldn't happen. So this is what I decided. We're going to start slow. First things first, we're going to come up with a content plan. We're going to sit down and we're going to plan. And planning isn't going to happen in 1 hour. You really have to spread it out. I really realized that I needed like a week to plan because my brain can't stay focused for hours and hours and hours. Like there's some times throughout the month where my brain can stay focused like that, but other times like 1 or 2 hours and then I'm done. I need to take a break. I need to do something else and then come back to it. And so that's exactly what I did. I sat down, I took my content sheet, I messed with ChatGPT. I was like, okay, I want to start recreating older videos, refresh them. So these are the videos that I want to focus on. So now we don't have to worry about like what video are we gonna make this week? What topic are we gonna talk about? It's already in the spreadsheet for the next. I think I built it out until spring rush. Being intentional, looking at the seasonality and kind of trying to get ahead of it instead of just thinking about like, okay, well, what is it that I'm going to talk about today? It reduces the anxiety that I feel. And I did a workshop with Trish, my friend that I was talking about earlier, and she told me just to focus on tomorrow. Just focus on like what you are going to be planning for tomorrow. When I look at my schedule and I see all this stuff, I get very overstimulated and I get very overwhelmed and I don't want to do it. If I just focus on tomorrow, because I have a planning block scheduled in my calendar, I can just focus on, okay, I have this, and this. Let's just get this together for tomorrow. And then that way I'm able to stay focused and I'm able to not shut down, because that's truly what happens. I know there's a lot of other people like that where you just get overloaded and you're like, I just don't want to do it. Small little chunks. So once I got all of that figured out, then I was like, okay, what's going to be the posting schedule? Doing 2 podcasts a week while I have a business isn't sustainable either. I wanted to, but my schedule is so content heavy that I'm like, when am I going to have time to like do stuff in my business? There's not. There's not. And this is where eliminating things out of your life that isn't helping you achieve the greater goal. This comes with work, with personal life, with clothing. Let's give some examples here. I think examples are really helpful. So if your laundry situation is overwhelming and it's just too much for you and you can't keep up, get rid of the excess clothes. Make your wardrobe more simple. At a certain point, this was like a couple years ago, I had gotten rid of the majority of my shirts. I think I had like 12 to 14 shirts. I had a couple pairs of jeans. Everything fit me. Everything looked good. Was it super fun? No, absolutely not. No, it wasn't. But it was functional. And that's what I needed at the time. I did the same thing with the dishes. I eliminated all the excess dishes. And this might sound like super extreme, but like that's psychotic. Well, I couldn't keep up on the dishes, and I have a house full of boys, and I don't manage my house the best. I'll be super transparent. I'm never gonna be like, oh yeah, my kids do all their chores, my husband does everything. No, I don't. I'm not a Susie homemaker. Yeah, I'll show you guys my calendar. It's super busy. I'm very focused on work. I'm not focused on managing a home. I've never claimed to be that. That's never sparked joy in my soul. That actually makes me very angry. That's why I have my aunt clean my house on Fridays. It's been very helpful. But I had eliminated a lot of the dishes. Therefore, I only have about a dishwasher and a half worth of dishes, like plates, bowls. We do have a lot more cups than I would like, but we've been pretty good about like taking care of that before it gets out of control, because there's nothing worse than when you have a sink full of dishes, a counter full of dishes, and then a dishwasher full of dishes. It's just too much. There's only 5 of us. We don't need all those dishes. I got rid of the majority of them. And this is around the same time I had a breakdown and I threw away all the dishes. Like I gathered all the pots and pans, everything that was on the counter and dirty because nobody else was helping. And like I said, I wasn't managing things right. I threw it all away in the trash. That was crazy. That was rough times here at the house, but I was losing my mind. And when you don't have your home life in order, it makes it really difficult for you to operate a business because your mind is like torn in different places. And that's very similar to having relationships. If you have somebody like a relationship that's drama and stressful and they're like blowing up your phone and they're making you feel bad about working, you might be married to this person. That's tough. Who you marry is very, very important because they can like literally destroy you. I'm very grateful that I married somebody that's very supportive and is down for the cause, so I don't have to deal with that. But I can only imagine it being an absolute nightmare. And if you're not married and say you're in a relationship with somebody, this is a little tip I learned from my husband because he used to have somebody that would call him on repeat, like constantly. Change their ringtone to your favorite song. So when they call you and they like blow your phone up, it's just your favorite song playing all the time. I remember when I would hear that, I got upset. I'm like, why does she have your favorite song if you like it so much? Like you clearly want her still. This was years ago. Oh my gosh, we've been married for a long time. We've been together for a long time. He's like, no, she just calls so much that I might as well listen to my favorite song when she's calling. That's such a man thing. But it's just little things like that just to make your days better, right? Because there's some people in your life that you just can't block, you know? If you know, you know. So there's that. Start eliminating things. Eliminate the dishes. Eliminate the clothes. Eliminate the extra activities. Prune it. We're gonna prune this stuff out. So then we can really focus on what we want and what's the focus. Like for me with my YouTube content, I want to go back and I want to relook at those videos, remake them with the education that I have now and make them even better for the channel. And then this way things are cohesive. And I think it's important to like repurpose and redo these things every so often because not everybody has watched those videos. And so that's really what I've learned. I've really learned that downtime is good. You have to allow yourself to have downtime and schedule it and not feel bad about it. I will have pop up what my calendar looks like after going through this calendar workshop over in She Built That Community. Trisha did a workshop on Saturday. Yeah, it was on Saturday, which we're going to do a workshop every month over there. I'm so excited. Lacey's going to be doing one on company culture because like I said, she's got a seven-figure business and she's got lots of staff and their culture is absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot going on. There's definitely room for more stuff. Like I need to put more croupin, spoopin, scoopin stuff on there because I was realizing like I just wasn't doing a lot for the business because it is so autopilot. I do have really good staff in. I do have, it's just kind of coasting and it's super slow right now. It's really slow. It's the summer slowdown, but it's going to get busy here in the fall. That's things that we have to think about because the seasons are going to kick back up. Time blocking. This is going to be my morning time to spend time on myself. This is going to be the time where I'm working on this part of the business. This is going to be some personal time to kind of decompress. This is going to be some time that I spend time with the Lord. This is going to be the time where I spend time with my family. Whatever it looks like for you, blocking that out and then having a hard shut off time. I have to shut my phone off at 7:30. Like I can't be working after 7:30. Because what happens is, and I start doing stuff and then it's 9, 10, 11 o'clock, then I can't wake up and I can't work out at 5 a.m. like I want to. And I really need to get those workouts done. They're very important because I've started to gain some weight because I haven't been working out. I haven't been getting up. And when I'm not doing that, then I'm not eating healthy and then I'm feeling more tired and then I don't feel well. It's just like perpetual cycle. It all goes together. That's why it's like you got to start little by little. These little micro moves. And I started this stuff years ago, like eliminating the closet of clothes that didn't make me feel good. Okay. I just wore company attire and branding, mainly because one, I liked it. Two, it allowed me to stay like business focused and I was creating my brand. So whenever I was out and about, I was always in a branded shirt. Gave me the opportunity to talk about my business. Okay. And then you got to do audits on this kind of stuff. You have to audit your schedule and take time to absolutely plan it. And I really struggled. I didn't take time to plan. And sometimes you feel like you're kind of just wasting time, but you waste so much time when you don't sit down and plan stuff. Put it on the calendar. This is my CEO planning time. And then in mine, I actually put a list of things that I should be planning. Because sometimes when I sit down, I'm like, what am I even supposed to be doing right now? Then that way it reminds me, like, let me go ahead. Let me pull mine up really quick. So in mine, like this is new. So as time goes on, I'm going to add this. But this is like things to look at, like review tomorrow's time blocks. See what's on the schedule for tomorrow. Plan that stuff out because that's like priorities. We're going to pick the top 3 priorities. If I'm filming or something, I'm gonna confirm the filming, the posting, the schedule, then look at tomorrow's impact hour and be like, okay, well, what are we gonna talk about for tomorrow? Impact hour. What is happening for tomorrow's impact hour? That for me is going to be that connection where I'm responding back to comments. If there's somebody that needs to have a conversation with me, I can have a conversation with them. Because that was the other thing is like, you guys would message me and be like, hey, is there any way I can talk to you? Can I get like 15 minutes of your time? And I just didn't have time in my schedule. This is the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of coaching. It's just because I just haven't had time in my schedule for it. But now I have time scheduled from 6 to 7. And that's the time where I can just have conversations with people and I can pour back into the community because I didn't like being away from you guys. Like I was burnt out and I was like, I can't do this anymore. But I hate being disconnected from you. And that's why I intentionally put that on my calendar. And I did that from 6 to 7 because I understand by that time, a lot of people are probably done working for the most part. And if I have any like follow-ups or DMs or anything that I need to do with school, just kind of on the cusp, I go in there and check that out and like respond back to comments type deal. And I have some other things on here where it's like check my money, which I'm going to remove that because I think that needs to go somewhere else. I don't think that needs to be during the planning, but I like to check my bank accounts. I like to see where my money is, how much money I have, how much money I don't have. I should probably move that into the morning because maybe that'll motivate me to work harder when the bank account's a little bit lower. You know, sometimes you just need a kick in the butt for real. And then going through all of that and then actually doing the things that you said you're going to do. And know that there's going to be some days where you're absolutely going to crush it and you're like, this is great. I'm handling the biz, no problems, no issues. And then there's gonna be other times where this is gonna be super overwhelming and it's gonna be too tiring and you can't do it. That's okay. You can move stuff around, but you just have to start slow to get back into it and add things and eliminate them as you see fit. And this, you can't just set it and forget it. As entrepreneurs, if you ever in your mind think that you're gonna have a consistent schedule that's always gonna flow the exact same way, you are going to be just so sad. You're going to be so disappointed all the time. And you're always going to be like, what the heck? As an entrepreneur, the schedule is constantly changing. And that's what I love about it. Even though I do love structure, I do love that things do change. And sometimes it sucks. And sometimes I'm like, dang, can things just be like chill for a little bit? The other part of me just gets really amped up and just gets like really excited about it because I don't know, it's like continuously stimulating which is really cool, but it can be super duper tough. So yeah, I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I don't want to overwhelm you, and I don't want to overwhelm myself. I'm trying to ease myself back into it, and I don't think I actually have the stamina to do an hour podcast right now. So I'm going to do just shy of a half an hour. But I hope these tips help you. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them underneath the video. If you like over on YouTube, because that's really been helping us with like responses and me making like little videos, because I can make response videos to those questions, which are really, really cool. If you have not reviewed me over on Apple Podcast, you could. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me actually log into Apple Podcast right now and see if anybody has left any recent reviews, because I can go ahead and read those really quick. That would be really nice. We have 39 5-star ratings right now, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Let's see. On June 11th, Steve Adams 19 wrote, "Your podcast and YouTube channel have been a huge help in learning the business. Thank you. And I appreciate your candor and openness. It shows you're genuine and you care," which I do. I do care very much. And thank you so much, Steve. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. On June 2nd, Certified Taco Vacuum left a review, said, "I'm in school and I love tuning into the podcast on the YouTube music app. Every day, I just listen to 3 to 4 episodes while working, and it's always a great time. To me, it feels like I'm actually there hanging out with you and your guests, and it helps me so much because being a business owner can feel so lonely." That is so true at times, and your show is like a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much. Love from Massachusetts, and see you at ScoopCon 2026. Oh, thank you so much. Let me click on more and see if there was any other reviews. May 19th from Duty Crew. "Thank you for all your knowledge and wisdom you provide. Looking forward to seeing you at ScoopCon." Whoop whoop. March 10th, which I might have already read this one, but I'm gonna read it again. By Pink Hat Hockey Fan. "Feels like a Netflix show that I have to binge. Just had my first scooping client, all thanks to this podcast. It's great and also just great life lessons." Thank you so much, Pink Hat Hockey Fan. I love that. That's so cool. If you haven't left a review and you would like to, and I can read it on air, I appreciate it so much. And this is going to help me get found on Apple Podcast. I would love to get to 100 reviews by the end of the year. That would be crazy. Let's set some goals. Let's get a little lofty over here. So thank you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to head out on this one, and hopefully my next podcast I'm a little bit more fluent. But it just goes to show that when you take some time off, you come back a little rusty. That's okay. That's okay. We're a little rusty, but we're going to get back in the swing of things. And same thing with you. If you stop doing whatever activity it is, just start slow, just get back into it, and you will be so happy that you got started. So until next time, bye.